This is Tom. Tom is the owner of a local used car dealership. Tom's company sponsors a 401k plan for its employees. His favorite saying is, if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. But Tom doesn't know anything about 401k planning. He couldn't possibly create and manage his company's own 401k plan by himself. That's why Tom must turn to a 401k provider. But how can Tom have complete confidence in his 401k provider when he doesn't know the ins and outs of 401ks himself? Tom knows of some untrustworthy mechanics that will overcharge or cut corners on their customers' cars. Their customers don't know the difference because they don't know enough about cars to understand whether the service is good and worth the price. Unfortunately, the same can be said about 401k providers. Because of their knowledge of 401ks and the lack of knowledge of regular people like Tom, providers can get away with overcharging and cutting corners. In fact, there are well-known financial experts that regularly complain that overcharging for the services provided is the rule and not the exception when it comes to retirement plans. Would Tom sell a Yugo to a customer who wanted and paid for a Cadillac, assuming the customer couldn't spot the difference? Of course not, because it's wrong. Back to Tom's company's 401k plan. Consider this. Many providers allow their customers like Tom to believe, falsely, that they take full responsibility for any compliance mistakes. A lot of times this is not true, and the over $1 billion in fines imposed each year are paid for by plan sponsors like Tom, and not by the providers. Tom couldn't imagine how his customers would react if he told them they had a 1-year warranty covered by his car dealership for minor repairs, and then charged them when they came in to get their repairs. How can Tom and other business owners keep a watchful eye over the advisor handling their company's 401k plan? Even with no identifiable problems, Tom can still be overpaying for the services he's getting because he has no ability to know a fair price. A system approach can help Tom eliminate 2 major risks when it comes to 401k services. The first risk is getting a 401k plan that works for him and his company. That is, a tailor-made custom plan that meets Tom's demands. This problem can be solved by obtaining a plan review. They are widely available at no cost because of robust competition between service providers. Much like Tom's Auto Shop offering his customers free consultations when they bring their cars in order to compete with other used car dealerships in the area. The second issue in 401k services is whether Tom is paying the right price for the services he receives. How can Tom be sure he's getting what he's paying for in his 401k plan? And why are the services being sold for more than they're worth in the first place? Unless Tom has negotiated a significant discount from the list price of services, Tom is paying too much for certain. The reason is that the financial service industry includes compensation for what is known as a finder or a bird dog in their fees. Their job is to find customers for the advisors. This is true whether the advisor is at the top of his game or at the bottom. But Tom doesn't need to be found. He seeks out his own advisors. It bothers Tom that he found his existing provider by talking with other employers and contacting the provider himself, only to still pay a finder's fee. Tom was the finder in this case, and he wants the finder's cut. Unfortunately, Tom cannot cut the finder's fee out on his own. His 401k plan is too small, and he is just one customer out of dozens, if not hundreds. Finders get their cut for finding customer after customer. Also, finders are licensed. Tom is a used car salesman, not a financial advisor. How can Tom cut out the excess fees and get the perfect plan for him? By joining a purchasing cooperative. If Tom and other similar employers, in this case owners of other used car dealerships, collaborate, they can get the perfect plan for each of their companies at the right price. This collaboration is known as a purchasing cooperative. There are 3 reasons a purchasing cooperative can benefit Tom and his fellow members. The first is cooperatives buy products wholesale, which reduces cost of individual product. The product, in this case, is the 401k services. These services will be much cheaper than the retail price Tom was paying for when he was on his own. Just like buying food in bulk at a wholesale club will make each individual product cheaper than it would be to buy each product separately. Second, the cooperative eliminates the finder's fee and other marketing expenditures, because the cooperative is the finder or bird dog. And since the cooperative is large enough to be taken seriously by competent advisors, no longer is it necessary to pay an outside finder or bird dog. Thirdly, the cooperative will have enough 401k business to have a dedicated staff person to perform a large percentage of the work. Thus, a high-end specialist will be retained only when a need arises. So quick recap. Players in financial services use their knowledge and their clients' lack of knowledge to overcharge. The truly best specialists won't spend time serving clients with a smaller 401k plan, leaving those customers to pay full retail to less competent providers. On their own, customers like Tom have no choice but to pay most, if not all, of the industry's finder or bird dog fees, even when the customer is the finder. 401k cooperative that Tom and his company joined resulted in a better plan at a lower cost due to cutting the finder's fee and purchasing services wholesale. Tom now has additional resources to expand his business or create added wealth for himself and his family.